welcome to the Dungeon Rundown. My name is Trisha Hershberger, and I am so excited to go over all the things from last week's Dungeon Run, talk some D&D, and hang out with my good buddies who are here tonight, Morgan Peter Brown and Jeff Cannata. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, we're good buddies.
Yeah, I reached good buddy status.
Yay!
Well,
Nailed it.
Morgan,
Yes.
I feel like we've been friends for years, but Jeff and I have actually known each other for years.
That's true. We have legit been friends for years.
Accepted.
So I think good buddies totally counts. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I've had a lot of travel the last few weeks, so I am hanging in there.
Wash your hands.
Washing
Yes.
hands,
Wash your thumbs.
Is it the thumbs? Is that the big one?
Sneeze into your armpit.
Yeah. Don't touch your
Uh-huh.
face.
Your elbow.
And then wash your elbow before you hug anybody?
I touch my face so much.
I touch your
Yeah.
face so much.
You do. No, but if you watch me on the show, you realize most cuts to James are like this.
Can I say something?
Yes.
ahead.
Since I've had a beard, I think I touch my face more. So maybe that's what it is.
I'm sure it is.
Is that what it
It's
is?
that texture change. It's
just-
weirdly comforting.
It's very comforting.
Oh man.
You should try it, Trish.
Yes, let me just stroke my beard over here. Yes, it's
You can
very,
pull it
very
off.
nice.
You can pull it off.
Very nice. Kamikaze Reaper in chat is very excited that Bearded Morgan is back.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah. The beard, it comes back quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Morgan just concentrates for a second.
True enough. It takes about 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Maybe a little less.
Morgan, are you allowed to say what you were traveling for?
I am co-producer on a movie that will be announced soon. I can't talk much about it, but
Okay.
I was down in the great state of Mississippi. I was a couple of people on the Discord mentioned that they live there and they wish that I'd let them know, but I had zero time. But it was an exciting shoot. I was pretty much down there for the entire month of February when I
Wow.
wasn't here. When I wasn't here
Yeah,
doing the show.
He would leave after we were done at like 10:30.
10:30
Yeah.
and take a red eye at 1 a.m.
Crazy.
Yikes.
Because I
Not a
love
fun
this show
struggle.
and I don't want to miss it ever.
And
Well,
we,
you know, the one time you didn't miss, there was a puppet here.
That's
so
right.
It's
Yeah,
incentive not
yes.
to miss.
Jared has terrified me to never miss a show now.
it happens when it has to happen. Just like Jeff when you were away. How were your
Yes.
travels?
It was nice. The family and I went to Hawaii, which was a long time in coming. For my mom's birthday, we had a whole kind of family trip.
Yay!
Nice, but it was hard not to be here. Although Todd was amazing.
Todd was amazing.
Todd was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I wanted to kick off today's show with something a little fun. We had a good time with this last week on the Dungeon Rundown. We did a little impromptu show and tell.
Right.
So I thought, we have Jeff and Morgan here. Let's see what Jeff and Morgan want to show off and tell
Sure.
us about. So you guys, to be fair, did get a little bit of prep time.
Yes.
Yes.
We
Yes.
did tell you ahead of time there's going to be a
I
show and
brought
tell.
things.
Yeah, go
I don't
ahead.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
what
I'll
did
have to
you
grab
bring?
mine from the actual
All right.
set.
Okay. I brought a couple things. These are my fanciest dice and my fanciest dice box,
It's a cool dice box.
which is a
Is
beautiful.
that a Wormwood box?
No, it is Elderwood Academy.
Ooh.
And then nice little magnets when you open it up. My beautiful raised obsidian
Oh my
Warlock dice.
God.
Are they hard to read when
Black
you roll
on
them?
black. That is the only thing. They are minorly hard to read, but they are made of obsidian and they are stunningly beautiful.
It's worth the crossed eyes.
I know. See,
May I
you can,
hold
yes,
one?
you can hold them. You can hold them. Don't you drop them.
You can feel the.
Ah.
You
They
can
are
feel
so
the dragon's
pretty.
curse inside it.
I love the texture. These are amazing.
Yeah,
I
they're-
feel like you need a good set of obsidian dice to play like Vampire the Masquerade and some of the New
for
World
sure.
of Darkness stuff.
Yeah, no, these are my Warlock dice, as I call them. They are
Oh my gosh.
they are as dark as Hunger of Hadar.
So
That's
is
dark.
are they what you roll when you're playing James?
Yes,
they're your
I
Warlock
do.
dice?
Yes, I mean they're not the only thing that I roll. I, like Jared and like others, have about, I feel it out, and I have about like 8 different D20s, but these are my most fancy.
They're very fancy.
And then I have this is my character notebook. If I ever leave this somewhere, you'll find many James secrets in this notebook.
Whoa!
and these are-
Note, steal it for a future episode of the Dungeon
exactly.
Rundown.
We have a beautiful digit sticker, which was drawn by Jason DeBitt, I think, and then some Dungeons and Dragons stickers. And this is a fun thing. This is a death note
What?
that I wrote.
What a fun thing I
This
got
is a
for
fun
you.
thing.
It's
Well,
a
no.
death
This is a
note.
death.
It just says your name over and over.
This is a death note. This is a death note that I wrote before the Vargan fight, because
Ooh.
I was legitimately feeling like one of us or I could die, and I had been thinking about the thing that James confessed to about 2 episodes after the fact. And you know what actually inspired it was the fact that before that fight we'd sat in the Liamans' tiny hut together for like 6 hours, and I was like, what would James be doing there? And I was like, I think he'd feel real bad if he died. and some things, and other people didn't know about it. So this is a full letter that I wrote that if James died during that fight, they would have found on his corpse.
Whoa.
Which would have confessed to what he confessed without spoiling. It's a big spoiler.
So wait, okay, so let's say James Quillis bit it.
Yeah.
How would you tell Jeff, like, P.S. there's this note on my body?
I don't know. I probably
would
would
have just
have.
hand it to me.
Yeah, I probably would have told you. Yeah, I would have found. I don't know how cool it would have been. I would have just been, like, I'm like, and basically.
I mean, that would have been a pretty cool moment. Just you saying, on the corpse there's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watching
Like,
you
what?
Yep. And I did.
No, I wish I'd killed it.
And I did address it to the heroes of Bingle, the 5 Yahoos, the instruments of chaos, or whatever you eventually decide.
Whatever they call them.
Oh, I love that song so much.
But yes.
Yeah, Melman 2002 says, as a DM, I love it when players are that invested in their character.
That's what the gift of the show is that we have 5 players that are that invested in
I've been talking about this a lot, but I've now been playing James for something like 150 hours, which is longer than I've ever played any character ever.
That's
anything,
true.
not just D&D, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, because I've done longer runs of plays, but I think we talked about this before. It's like a play is just like one series of events played over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas like I have progressed through this much stuff of just RPing as James for that long.
I was also thinking just recently that, we're about to do episode 38 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I've never done 38 sessions of D&D with the same group before.
No, me neither.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's amazing.
I haven't done anywhere near that number.
Nope.
It's extraordinary. It's really just a privilege to be able to see a story go this long and get this.
Not with the single party. I think I've done like the same group of folks, but never the same characters. Yeah.
Can I tell you, because I had a pretty long running game through high school, because I played with the same group all through high school, so like 3 or 4 years. Let me just warn you, when those characters die that you spent years with, it is rough.
I'm sure.
It is rough. I was in mourning for months over one air genasi that I had.
How'd she die? He die.
She died.
Tell me about it.
I'm still so salty about it, so I'm gonna try to keep that down.
Did a strong fan turn on and blow you away?
No, so the DM that I was playing.
You never see it coming.
The strong fan every time. No, the DM that I was playing with liked to run a low-level campaign, and this character had just gotten too high level. So he had set it up that a couple adventures in the past, my character got friendly with a male NPC.
Okay.
Which, like, fast forward 4 adventures, turned out to be an incubus. Surprise, you're pregnant with a demon, and when you give birth to it, you're gonna die. So I had like a countdown clock.
Wow.
Whoa.
That I got to exist with this character, and I did everything. Like, my familiar was a mini dragon that like flied in to try to save me at the last second, and like my familiar kamikaze to try to save me, and like all this stuff. And it was just like,
Oh.
and you've died.
That's intense.
And I
That's
was
a little
like,
mean. That's just
what?
like, you're going to die.
yeah.
Get ready. It's going to happen.
That's intense.
It was like, I can't have a 9th level mage in my party anymore. And I'm like, cool, can we just retire her? Like, you didn't have to murder her. Very salty. Very salty about it. Also, high school, so like drama's up here.
Yeah, 100%.
So I was very, very pissed.
In a way, I kind of feel like I am lucky that I did play D&D in high school, because almost every horror story that I've heard was like, teen hormones, the campaign got out of control, I poisoned the rest of my party. And it was like, oh man, I didn't play in high school. Maybe it was for the best.
And you're just trying to exert your power over other kids at that point, Just trying to, I have identity.
And Joel and I were fighting over this one thing. Yeah, no.
It's actually funny then watching everyone play as adults, because we're like, well, let's talk about the moral implications of these choices.
You're like, I had a demon baby.
I feel like you're calling me out right now. Hang on.
All of them. I am definitely calling you out, but I'm calling out everyone in this group that's like, so I designed my character specifically to murder ball through enemies, but now I'm having real issues about murder balling, so let's talk about it. That's D&D as an adult.
How dare you? I know. That's right. You can't murder hobo. You feel bad about it.
You do.
He's like, can I just not level to 9?
I was already level 9, but that's when
Just like, I'll go back to 8.
let's just retire her. Maybe she doesn't adventure anymore. She goes and lives a peaceful life. She pulls like
She pulls a
Steve
Thanos.
Rogers,
and
and it's
Yeah.
okay. And
Right?
she just gets to live happily ever after, and I make a new character. And
Bro.
Here's the only thing I'll say from a DM perspective is that I can definitely sympathize with you're just too powerful. I can't do this.
yeah.
Because at a certain point, it's really fun when low-level characters have a problem because they have only a few options. High-level characters,
High level.
you become gods in D&D.
Yeah.
And at a certain point as a DM, you're just like, you're too powerful.
Well,
You're too powerful.
especially if you've collected certain magical items
Yeah.
on your adventures,
Right.
like
I get
you do.
that.
You become crazy.
I get that.
Well, and you have to juggle the force of good and force of evils from the amulet.
Yes, those can be very powerful. They can be very powerful.
As
Especially if you don't like make us roll a check for it or
I
something
know.
like that.
Yeah.
as we have seen. But Jeff, what did you bring? What did you bring to share?
I left it at my site.
Go
These are,
get it.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, for
Gifts.
real.
I want to talk about gifts that I got.
Like
Um,
from viewers?
Viewers and from Morgan.
Oh.
Because Morgan
Oh,
got me
yes.
these really cool, I think you've probably seen them in the show.
Yes.
These really cool
Status markers.
status markers.
They're super useful.
They are
were
awesome.
a gift for Jeff, but also a gift for all of us.
You know, they say unconscious or restrained.
or stunned
Whoa.
or
all kinds of stuff.
Invisible.
prone.
I love those.
You just drop them over the mini.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Super
I think
useful.
they're like
Super
3D
nice.
printed or something?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't that expensive.
What size bases are they meant to work with? Like kind of the generic
I think
minis that you
it's the
buy at the
standard-
store?
The harder thing is getting them over the heads of some
Right.
characters.
Yeah.
Minis
Like
because
they're holding.
arms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's put it
But
on
very
their arm.
cool and very useful.
Kamikaze says if you like it, put a ring on it.
Hey.
Gotcha.
I just like it.
Or if you want to poison it. put a ring on
And
it.
these just arrived. I just got these today, so I think this
Okay.
is perfect.
Oh.
Sid Vicious, who is in
Hey,
the
yes.
Discord, is an amazingly talented
Sid
artist.
Vicious.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Sid
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Vicious.
Sid Vicious. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say his real name, but it's Jody. And he sent this to us
Giant ape.
because Uggo has been polymorphed into a
Yes.
giant ape. He made this.
Amazing.
It is
my
his,
goodness.
his letter says it is a miniature is baked clay on wire armature.
What?
Says
Oh.
it's pretty sturdy, but I'm not sure how well it would take a full fall. So
This
Don't
is also,
drop it.
This is also the guy where if you're on our Discord, he's currently making a Whitebeard statue.
extraordinary.
It's incredible.
I have seen that on the Discord.
It's like this big.
So-
It's hard to tell.
J-Man Ray says that came out great.
Yes.
So you'll see next time anybody gets polymorphed into a giant ape, this is what's happening.
Right.
Now I'm sure the team is going to be like, we did giant apes. We're going to move on to something.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's
No,
really
I'll
cool.
go as
That's
giant ape.
very
We'll come back.
cool.
Or maybe
And then-
I think maybe
Thank
Behemoth should be
you,
a
Sid
giant ape.
Vicious. That's awesome.
One more thing
Okay.
I want to show. This is awesome. This was sent to us with this letter that was written in character.
Oh.
Okay. It's addressed to the heroes of Bingle.
Oh.
It says, Heroes of Bingle, my name is Hallwyn Nightbane, a ranger of the natural order. I was tasked by the order to investigate a den of particularly nasty goblins. After they were dispatched, I came across an interesting artifact, a small black bone die covered in strange writing. Upon consulting with Hirmal Fesh at Nightstone Abbey, we discovered that the artifact has a similar chaotic arcane signature as the amulet you currently possess.
Whoa.
We thought that this item would be better served in your hands and may possibly help protect Ein from the evil trying to destroy it. I hope this artifact finds you quickly. Signed, may the Candle Queen be with you, Hallwyn Nightbane.
I
cool is
love
that?
it so much.
It's a die.
Was sent.
Ooh.
It is a die for when we.
It's a D6
Yeah.
with our names on it.
Yes, for when I have to do a random
Yes.
card.
Is there
Literally
one?
Says
Oh, and then there's a
James.
reroll.
Yeah, James, Fahima, Lily, Uggo, Civ, reroll.
That is so awesome.
Blown
Right?
away.
So thank you, Hallwyn Nightbane.
Can't believe this.
That is extraordinary.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So this will go into play on tomorrow's episode.
Thank you,
I will be
Hallwyn.
using this.
That's so cool.
It's amazing.
Adventuring to you,
We are
Night, Sir, Lady Nightbane. Hallwyn.
are,
Yeah.
extremely grateful having such an engaged, awesome community.
yeah.
You
Especially
guys are
because
the
of this kind
best.
of thing.
Yeah,
It's just-
You guys, and thank you, Jeff, for sharing that on the rundown. We got a little
Absolutely.
dungeon rundown.
That's
exclusive
amazing.
There, so when you tune into the dungeon run tomorrow night, you'll know where that came from.
See that
Right.
die?
Woo, woo, woo. That is so much fun.
That's amazing.
My show and tell this week is my D20 dress, which I've worn on the show before. But I have lots of nerd wardrobe paraphernalia that I wear on the show all the time. But this one, and I'm actually going to ask you, Jeff, what's it say on the very top back of this?
Top, back.
Yeah.
Back.
Like inside?
Yep.
Oh, it says Lace and Love?
Lace and Lore.
Lace and
Okay.
Lore.
Yes. This is a dress from Lace and Lore. I wanted to remember which company made it in case anyone out there is like, I want me a D20 dress. You know,
Nice.
Lace and Lore
Lace
is the
and
name of the
Lore.
company. I think they're still in business. I got it like 6 years ago, so you can never quite be sure, and I think I bought it at a convention. But D20 dress for the win, so that's my show and tell.
Secret message. What does it say? It says, the crow flies at midnight. What?
Now you're gonna be so paranoid anytime anyone hands you a note. Many of the players are like,
Lace
I
and
have
Lore.
this for you. Oh God, is it a death note? Is it Lace and Lore? Is it
My death note was on Trish's dress? I don't know.
Deep cut.
deep cut? It could happen. So we had some D&D news this week that's like general
Yeah.
D&D news that I wanted to pick your brain about.
Sure.
So did either of you see or care about the Baldur's Gate 3 news coming out of PAX East?
I
Oh, yeah.
care. I did not see.
I watched the playthrough.
Oh.
You know, I cover video games professionally.
I know that you did. That's how we met, Jeff. So, Jeff, I know you obviously play video games. Morgan,
do.
do you play video games quite a bit?
I somewhat. I am not as well versed as Mr. Cannata or yourself or others, but I do play some video games. Yeah.
Well, and I bring it up as D&D news because
Yeah.
this is a game that Wizards of the Coast is making with Larian Studios, whose previous titles are Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2,
Which are amazing games.
which are amazing games.
I keep hearing I need to play them. Yeah.
Good.
I think up until now, I think probably the best adaptation of tabletop RPGs
Ooh.
to video game RPGs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Very, very good. But Solarian Studios is kind of the perfect studio, I think, to
Yeah.
pair up with Wizards of the Coast to make Baldur's Gate 3,
Mhm.
which is set in D&D Forgotten
Look at
Realms.
that.
You're kind of looking at the cinematics right now. Look how stunning this looks. So it's going to have a character creator, which I think everyone should buy it just for the character creator to like get images of your characters when you're creating them for your local tabletop games.
I definitely played the original Baldur's Gate. I
Yes.
played it, so I have connection to it that way. But and Minsk and Boo, and I think I even said. I feel like I even made a Baldur's Gate reference at some point during the show, just randomly throwing off kind of a "I am the flaming fist" or something like, saying something like one of those voice actory things from the original Baldur's Gate.
Yep. Well, I used to use the original Baldur's Gate soundtrack as the background music for all my D&D campaigns.
Really? That's
Yeah,
a
because
good one.
it's so good.
I use Pillars of Eternity when I'm DMing as well. The
Also
Pillars of Eternity
good.
score is stunning.
And that game is also very good.
Love
But the
it.
reason that I bring up this game and the question around it is I think I know where you guys will stand on this, but some people wish that the combat system after seeing the gameplay was more real-time with pause, like the previous Baldur's Gate games.
Yeah.
And other people say because it's turn-based and you see the rolls and it's so specific to what the rules of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons are, that it feels a little like Larian Studios maybe reskinned Divinity Original Sin with a Forgotten Realms setting, and then it's kind of like a cheap pull. Whereas Larian came out and said, you know, we're making a D&D game, so of course it's gonna be turn-based, just
Right.
like D&D. Do you guys have thoughts on that either way?
Well, I'm a huge fan of turn-based. I mean, I love turn-based games much more than real time. I understand.
Give me a because honestly, this is over my head slightly. Give me an example of other turn-based. Like, is that Final Fantasy style? Is that
Some Final Fantasies
Well,
are
yeah,
turn-based.
Tactics would be an example.
Okay, got it.
But it is literally take your turn, decide. Old Final Fantasy games where you would literally pick things for each of each of the characters that has their turn.
Yeah.
So it is, you know,
Okay.
it's like a board game.
Yeah,
You
okay.
pick,
You take your turn.
decide,
Yeah.
then the next character decides, the next character
it.
decides, the next character decides.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. But this hybrid thing where you can issue orders and they sort of attack on their own until you press the space bar and everyone
Right.
stops and you can issue more.
Right, which I've played that way. Yes.
Yeah.
I've played like Pillars of Eternity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love the turn-based style of board games. So I'm happy about, and I love the way Divinity plays. So I'm not upset at that, and I think it is more in line with what D&D is.
It sounds more like D&D.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it
which
is
makes
chunky. I
sense.
mean, you can see from that playthrough, like it's die rolls. Bad things happened. in
Yeah,
that playthrough.
Chaotic Brain in chat says it was hard. The dev died right away on his first fight.
Whoa.
It's because of unlucky
that's
die.
level 1.
He was he was
Unlucky
crit
roll.
failing.
That can
Yeah.
happen.
Sometimes that happens.
Whoops.
Yeah, it took him like how long? Like 2 hours plus to get through the demo because he kept crit failing. And he
Yeah.
said, this demo, we haven't incorporated a save feature yet, so I have to do it
no.
start to finish without dying.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
the rolls got the better of him.
Oh, I'll watch that. That's funny. Yeah.
I'm excited for
Is that available? Is that available on to watch the playthrough now?
Yeah.
Via
Yeah.
it.
You,
Cool.
you can watch the playthrough. It was released at PAX East. But yeah, that's kind of the hot discussion I feel like right now in the world of D&D.
Oh,
so
man.
thank you,
Game's still a ways
gentlemen,
off.
for
They're
weighing
doing an
in.
early
Right.
access, I think in the spring, in the summer, but it's still a ways off that game. But
it's going to be a while for sure.
I'd love to go to a PAX at some point. I've never been.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're good times.
Yes, very good times. So thank you guys for discussing that with me. Let's get into last week's dungeon run, shall we? So last week's dungeon run, we finally went on a dungeon run. It was so exciting, as opposed to Mythical Episode 0 that we keep drooling over and wishing we had access to, but we do not. So this was our first dungeon run. Maybe not yours, but ours. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the heroes of Bingle prepared for their first/second dungeon run.
Are you going dressed like that?
I guess we hadn't really talked about our wardrobe situation.
No.
Did you have recommendations or a stylist?
Is it a bit
If
hot?
you're walking into the center of Sky Scorcher Peak,
Ugh.
you'll burn up if you're not protected. So what I would suggest is you procure yourself some lava hide.
Perhaps.
And it just so happens that we have a bit of a lava lizard infestation problem.
Excellent.
Fire belchers and lava lizards inside the magma reserves. So, if you can find yourself a tanner and a leather worker, perhaps you take out a few lava lizards, get yourself some hides, and get protection from the mountain, because none of you are dwarves, hearty, stout.
Sorry, just a quick question. So you said this was an invasive species? There's an overabundance of them? Because I just don't feel quite right killing these creatures.
Oh, we got more than our fair share of lava lizards and fire belchers.
Okay, so they're sort of like deer. They have to be hunted. There's
They're like deer if deer would spit molten lava at you from 30 yards away.
Right.
That's a terrifying
A population
concept.
control situation.
Okay. And if there are any that are sequestered because they're sick or elderly, I would prefer to take those ones out first, but you know.
Elderly lava lizards. You're welcome to try.
What's the average lifespan of a lava lizard anyway? How
As
would you
short
know?
as we can make it.
Got it.
That was hilarious.
I loved it.
So I love how old school D&D this got, where it was like, okay, gotta go and stock up. What store are you gonna go to? What are you gonna prep? What are you gonna bring? Morgan, how did you approach that situation?
No, I loved it. It was sort of a. I loved it because I was kind of gunning for a fight. You know, like there are some episodes where it's like we had a very heavy like first half of this past week, and I loved it, and it was great RP and everything like that. But there was part of me that was like, all right, I'm ready to kill something now. and yeah, there was wanting. So I was like, ooh, okay, all right, this means we're gonna get to fight something. Yeah, I was very excited about that, and I do like the kind of the gaming. It felt kind of classic in that way that you said. It was like, okay, well, if you want to do A, you're gonna have to do B first, and then it's like, cool. I like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I thought Jessica, as Fahima, approached it very well. Like, okay, well, this is how I will make this work for myself to just execute these animals. It was like a population problem, and you kept cracking me up.
You know, you gotta justify it. Yes, Jeff, congrats on the humor there. That was so funny. Were you so excited to lead everybody through a traditional dungeon run?
Yes. It occurred to me that we hadn't really actually done the thing that most people do, which is, what
You asked for a marching order.
Yeah, well, let's do it and start stepping through. And I think, we're heading into the Fortress of the Four Former Forges, so there's more dungeon delving to come.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. So, okay, you had them covered for what to prep. Now, you brought this up, Jeff, but marching order. Morgan, had you ever given thought to that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I think.
Normally, you guys like spread out and have your positions, but like in single file marching order, going down a small
and it was a
dungeon
tight
hallway.
Yeah. And so it was like put me in the middle or the back, because I think Warlocks specifically, like James's style of Warlock, I'm meant to mess things up from a distance, and fire off some Eldritch Blasts and maybe control the battlefield a little bit.
But like, what if you have to shoot around them then?
That's occasionally an issue with like the tight quarters, and we'll see. I am eyeing Probably not at level 8, maybe later on. I am eyeing the Spell Sniper feat, which negates any cover. Any 3/4 cover or half cover
Great.
they have, it doesn't matter. You roll the same,
That's awesome.
and it doubles your range as well. Things like that can.
When could you get that?
I could get it at either 8th or 12th level.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do.
But after level 9, everyone has demon babies.
After level 9,
Even James.
everyone dies.
Sorry to spoil that.
We're all dying at level 9.
That's how it happens. Jeff, did they approach the dungeon the way you thought they would? Were there any surprises?
Never. They never do. But
Got those methods to start.
yes, which was really fun.
They paid off. They did well.
Oh, very
They
much so.
soaked up some damage.
Very
They,
much so.
they messed things up. It was
Yeah, I think going forward, Fahima's going to be a real force to reckon with all her little babies.
What happens to
yeah.
wizards, man?
Yeah.
Especially conjurers. You know? Yeah.
She's going to have a lot of fun. But it's cool. I liked this fight because it's a preview of kind of going into the mountain and what we're going to be dealing with a lot of lava issues. And
Nobody actually fell into the lava, thank goodness.
no, I loved all the jumping off the wall and landing on when we're doing stuff. It was cool.
It was super cool.
It was not at all what I thought people were gonna. And it was interesting how the team took that challenge, taking the first one and really isolating it.
Yep.
The first, I think it was the fire belcher first.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the other two didn't really alert the other two monsters. So it was interesting. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then, but yeah, that funny moment of cracking that hole in the wall and it's right there. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
and we're here.
Which led to Civ taking 46 points of damage.
Yeah, it was no joke.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say what Civ's max hit points are?
I don't know.
I think he's in the mid 60s now. I
Okay.
don't know that for certain. I think he's high enough. I'm at like 52, and I think his constitution is higher than mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no joke.
that's a substantial hit. For
Yes.
Sure.
I think it is the highest amount in one shot that any of us have taken. I mean, not counting Ugo's Hamlet in the Vargan fight, the 135-point hit.
Kamikaze Reaper said 66 hit points.
In one shot?
It's on the wiki page. No,
Or
no,
for
no.
Civ.
That's Civ's total
Oh,
is
that's
66.
at
So
max.
Good.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Got our backs.
Yeah.
it's on the wiki page apparently. Thank you, Dice and Capes, for
Wonderful.
throwing that out
Thank
there.
you.
I think I know the answer to this, Jeff, but Sasha Graves asked, Jeff, has the party blown your mind in combat?
Every episode.
Right? Yeah.
Almost every time they blow my mind and come up with things that I never would have guessed.
Yep.
And that's what's so fun. I mean, that's the joy is them thinking outside the box or doing something that I just did not anticipate at all.
I still got even more tricks up my sleeve. I'm waiting to pull on you, so that's fine.
Goody.
Yeah.
I go easy. No, I don't go that easy on you.
No, you do not.
The most I torture you is with the sendings.
Yes, absolutely.
Fert and Fert, go!
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And again, Jeff,
Yeah,
your
I know.
freestyle rap skills
know.
coming into play for Ert and Fert.
That whole-
so good.
That whole episode, I was rewatching part of that episode on the plane today, and that was one of my favorite episodes that we've done in a while. This last week was great too, but that week I was the whole war scene and into everything was so good.
So Thunder Muffin says, wish Jeff could DM for us. You
Oh.
and all of us, Thunder Muffin. We all feel that way.
This is what I am.
I know. It's for everybody.
And I mean, really, we are all playing along as
Yeah.
watchers of the time stream, so
Yep.
it totally counts. Commander Wiggin says, at some point, someone has to die. It has to happen, no matter who it is. I will cry. And I think we all
That's
feel that
very
way.
sweet,
I
Commander
feel like
Wiggin.
Commander
Thank you.
Wiggins has some issues. It has to happen. I will feel
It has
terrible.
to happen.
It has to, no.
You're prepping yourself for it.
Nice to yourself. It doesn't
I get
have to
it.
happen.
Okay,
You can prep yourself for it.
Can we chat a little? Because I'm curious, and I loved the big move of killing Grolago that you did this last week. Because it like punched me in the stomach when it happened, and I'm curious how, if you had planned that, if you knew in your head, if Donk is left alone with Grolago will die.
So before you answer this question,
Yes.
let's do a recap and check out that
Okay,
scene now.
yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow,
I'm spoiling things.
As this conversation is happening, you get back to Dano's door. He opens the door, and you guys he opens the door for you, and you guys kind of shuffle in. And as you walk in, you immediately see, with your passive perception, lots of blood.
Oh no.
Lots of blood on the
Oh no.
ground.
Oh no.
And you look up and you see this pool of blood, and you see Donk slumped over.
Oh no.
And you see the silver sword thick with blood on its tip. And then you see Groligo, dead. Blood seeping from between his tungsten steel, still bound in the chair.
What?
And you hear behind you Dondo's voice. Oh, Donquil, what have you done?
I'm sorry, what?
And Donk. The orcs killed my whole family. I'm sorry. I want to remove your problem. And I wanted him dead. You killed my whole family. And Hamreen pushes past you all and runs up to him and puts his hand on his back. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left him alone with him. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. El Gordis in chat says 2 characters that started as comedic relief, showing so much heart. It's so true. Morgan, your reactions during that? Tell me, because I think you thought the same thing I and Lord Grain did. Lord Grain said, I thought at first that Donk was dead and Gro had escaped. You thought that too, right?
Yeah, there was something in the way that you described. I think the first
Donk
thing you said was
slumped over.
Donk was slumped over, and then I was like, uh-oh, Groligo's escaped. And then you're like, Groligo's dead. And I'm like, uh-oh, secret assassin? You know, and then I was like, no, Donk's not dead, he's just, and I was, oh no. And it was so good. It was so,
Thank you.
No, it made the point about the situation, about war in general, and I tried to give some voice to it later, that it just, that war makes no sense, that war is messy, and that when you try to make it about just the big moving pieces, well, the dwarves will do this and the orcs will do this, and it's like, no, it's actually just about the people and what they've lost. And the fact that we had forgotten, I had legit forgotten Donk's story, that was his story, that his family had been killed. And so, yeah, just leave them with Donk and Humry. They're harmless. And then as soon as you did it, I was like,
Oh.
And I was upset. James was upset because, yeah, it was, Groligo had become a sort of unintentional symbol of, you know, we can get through this without massive losses, you know, and maybe there's a way through this where we can all still, you know, sleep in bed, you know, go to sleep with our own thoughts at night. And what am I trying to say? Yeah, it was just kind of a punch in the gut about how complicated this all is and about how much everyone has lost.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I think you said that really beautifully. I never want to take a choice away from the team, right? But I felt like in this particular instance, the debate had gone on so long.
Yeah.
They had, the decision they made was to not make a decision. And I think that the fun for me as a DM, and I think the job of the DM in a lot of ways, or the way I approach it certainly, is to create decision points for the players, and then to create consequences for those decisions.
Right.
That's what's fun. But sometimes not making a decision has to have consequences too.
Sure.
And I did not think about that happening until the previous episode, when you guys were talking about what are we gonna do, and somebody was like, well, we could go to the king and leave, these guys could watch Groligo. And as soon as that was said, I was like,
Bad.
it's not gonna go well.
Oh, bad move.
Wow.
You can't leave them with them.
Yeah, I just totally forgot about it, to be honest.
This week I was in my head like, I'm not gonna force it. I'm
Right.
not gonna make sure it happens, but if they decide to leave Donk and Homrian with this guy. I'm gonna take Homrian out of the situation.
Way to.
And Donk is gonna have that moment. So
Wait, I mean, again, it speaks to how well you are spinning all of the plates. And even there's the big giant plates, which is Calcutta Theed and us and the Watchers and all this stuff. And then there's the tiny plates, which is like these little side characters and what their stories are about. And it's, oh man, yeah. Thank you.
Spider Byron says, I think Jeff was gonna kill Gorlago off no matter what, but that is not the case. It's
Not at all,
a
I
consequence
swear
of
to you.
not making a decision.
Honestly, you guys had a complete opportunity to do whatever you wanted to do with Gorlago. If you had decided to try to smuggle him out of the city, we could have done that. In fact,
Right.
as it was happening, I thought one of the coolest ideas, I almost went, oh, I want this to happen, is when, I think it was Uggo says, give him to the pirates.
That was an
I was
interesting
like, oh, dude, we get
idea.
to go back and see
Mervis.
Mervis blow hard and then see what those guys are. I was like,
James wouldn't have been happy about seeing
I
that.
didn't think it would have been a whole thing just to like get this guy to that place. But part of me was like, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
It would be
So-
fun.
It didn't feel realistic to me. I'm like, well,
Right.
what are they gonna do with them?
Right.
Like that's
Right.
gonna go terribly.
But there was kind of a logic to it because we had met the orc on the boat who was very strong
Right.
about that feeling. And I felt like there was a
Sharn.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was I thought that was a very there's a logic to that
Yes.
that I could see Ron making in his head, and I felt like, and there's a fun side quest of smuggling. I mean, it's in Game of Thrones when oh, I forget all the names of the characters now, but there's the entire one of the whole books is basically what's his name, the brother with the no hand.
Jamie?
Jamie
Yes, yeah.
being smuggled across the country, trying to be protected by someone who hates,
Yeah.
by,
Brienne.
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna stop talking now.
No, it's fine.
It's the same kind of thing. It would be-
Names, too many names.
It's that fun thing of having to protect this person who hates you and you hate them.
Right.
I thought
Yeah.
that was like, oh, that could be really fun.
I really like what chat's now going on about the adventures of Gorlago the pirate, and and perhaps Gorlago killing Mervis, becoming.
I was gonna say, we would go
Gorlago
back
as the
and
new
Gorlago would
captain.
own that ship.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
I could see some fanfic right there about Gorlago the pirate.
Mervis doesn't really stand a chance against
Nope.
Gorlago.
Feel free to make that happen already. And Marshapotamus says, I like that Jeff kind of punished the team for not deciding. It's super clever. I
would
100%
argue, I
agree.
don't know that we
Wasn't a
didn't
punishment.
decide, but I
You were
see your point.
Putting off the decision.
We were holding him because I obviously didn't trust the Dwarf King to keep him alive, and I did not want to execute him.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think that, again, I don't want it to seem like it was a punishment
Nope,
at any
nope.
stretch, but I just wanted a consequence for whatever the decision was. And
No,
so-
it was so well done, and felt gut wrenching, but absolutely felt right when you did it as well, which is a tough balance to pull off.
And I
so
was
well done.
trying to have a moment. I didn't do it as well as I could have, but I was trying to have a moment of the players not knowing who was alive and who was dead. I wanted it to be blood, sword.
There was a little bit of that.
You know,
yeah.
like
Definitely.
who is alive, who's dead
Yeah.
here. And so,
I thought Gorlago straight up escaped and killed Dunk.
that was my
100%.
first thought as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That was crazy. All right, so getting through Dunk's betrayal, now we're moving on to the actual dungeon run. We're getting into the nitty gritty of the combat. And we had some really crazy stuff go on, as we often do with the amulet and all of the chaos that ensues. So let's take a look at some of that chaos now.
Okay, so Meep tries to stealthily fly in and accidentally squawks when it sees all the fire. And this thing, this enormous lizard-like creature with this incredible skin that it ripples. I mean, you guys don't see any of this, but this is what Meep sees.
It looks amazing.
Big fangs.
I'm seeing it, like,
pulls its snout up, dripping magma from its gaping maw, and it turns and looks at Meep like, I want to eat that firebird.
The next time
a
Meep
cave.
is targeted by an attack, the card holder stoops down and hastily makes a fake phoenix from whatever they find nearby and throws it into the air.
Okay.
I roll a d6. On 1 through 3, the attack hits the phoenix instead of Meep. On 4 through 6, the fake is too easily identified and Meep takes the attack.
Are you throwing it?
Doesn't work.
No!
I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw for Meep.
What?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
This one's on me. You hate seeing your friend. Nope, that's not what I want. Here it is. Looking from a different perspective. There. Nope, not that one either.
Oh my
Good
God.
Lord. There's one where I can. Oh, here it is.
I'm rolling.
Jeff.exe has failed to load. Haha! As Jeff reflects back on the insanity of Force of Evil, Force of Good cards received in the first half of the prior episode, his predecessor needs a reboot. Take advantage of this distraction and negate yours or another player's disadvantage on a roll on one roll.
Do it.
Whoa! Okay, so this thing,
Jeff.exe failed to load.
this incredibly ferocious, fiery lizard
Left me hanging forever.
comes charging, brings its head up, dripping magma, comes charging at Meat, and Meat flies, and it opens its mouth, and Meat flies right past it as the jaw is clamped down, and Meat up into the sky.
El Gordis killed it. Jessica finally rolling a 20 in the perfect moment. It's so true. Morgan, James is not only dad zoned, but now also left hanging.
Still hanging.
Still hanging.
Still.
Gotcha.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yay!
Still hanging.
So validated and wonderful. That was a hilarious moment.
yes.
But also, so crazy how the roles and the forces of good and forces of evil completely change the game and can take it anywhere. And I know that we've discussed this on the show before, but now that the forces of good and forces of evil cards are so abundant, thank you, community, you're amazing. How are you dealing with them differently? Has your strategy of organization and when to use them, and Jeff, for how you kind of work them into the game without being game breaking, how has that changed now that there's so many?
I've had to get more organized, yeah, for sure. I've labeled each of them with just a little bottom right corner of what it does.
Okay.
Because then at least I can be situational and go okay, this is what I need right now, and then I will leaf through the 3 or 4 that I have that are sort of like that. Yeah, I mean, it's constantly being not less precious, I guess. Still, I've been trying to be less precious with, and by that I mean use them. It's just try and use them as much as you can, because they're very abundant right now, and thank you so much. And so, but just trying to because you're coming for us. It's you're coming right at us. So just gotta keep using them and rolling with the punches. Yeah,
it's it's an amazing part of the game that we're playing, and I love it. I spend a lot of time during the week looking through all the submissions from viewers, from watchers. People submit a lot of cards, and I'm so grateful. It's extraordinary, but it is very time consuming and a lot of work to go through them. And what I have started doing much more now than I used to is editing all the cards that I allow into the deck to make sure they fit into the action economy of D&D.
Okay.
Before it felt like, oh, this thing that would just happen, it could happen, and is so powerful because it's this game-breaking mechanic that we've introduced on top of the game. But now it feels like because there are more of them, it needs to fit into that action economy, and there has to be something that the players are giving up in order to use them. So if you have to use your action or your bonus action or your reaction.
Got it.
So it becomes actually just another tool in their arsenal rather than something that is layered on top of their arsenal.
Right.
Yeah.
It changes the play style though, because I feel like when you're adventuring together as a party, your combat strategy would mostly be determined by the various classes and races you've chosen and how those characters traditionally interact in a combat setting. But now you can have a situation where your rogue is casting a spell, or things that aren't normally what you would have, or your.
Can I say something about that? Because I have not played characters in D&D as much as I have DM'd D&D. But when I played characters in D&D, I, frankly, to be super honest, found myself sometimes being frustrated with how few options I had at any given time. And I love the fact that you guys have so many more options on your turn. You know, there were many games I played at D&D, many combats that I would just be like, all right, I run up and smack them. I do it. I'm rolling my dice. It's fun. And
especially
that's fun.
low level.
Right.
Yeah, and that's fun, right? That's fun. I'm not taking anything away from how fun that could be, but I like the fact that there's a strategic level of interaction that our show has because there are so many other options at any given time. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way.
No, yeah, I see that a lot. And I think we balance it well in terms of like, because while I got to use plenty of Forces of Good cards during the fight, I also got to debut Avard's Black Tentacles, which is a spell I'm very excited about. Because it's kind of such a cool control-y spell. It's like, I'm going to trap you there and you're going to get beaten with tentacles.
It's a very cool spell.
It's a very cool Jamesy Warlocky spell, and I'm a fan of it. So yeah, I like the balance that we're able to achieve, because I guess I see what you mean. And well, Warlocks, for instance, there is, the running joke of all they do is cast Eldritch Blast.
Right.
And, that happens sometimes, but Eldritch Blast is a good spell. What are you gonna do?
It's a cool spell. Yeah, a lot of people in chat are agreeing with you, Jeff, that it can feel a little redundant, especially Brandon Nerd says some classes have no bonus action.
Right.
Like that, it can feel very simplistic. So it is a very cool spin on it for sure. And speaking of cool spins on things, I wanted to ask you specifically, Jeff, about the origin of the religion behind the Candle Queen.
Ooh.
So the Candle Queen has evolved and become this thing thanks to the community, thanks to Amanda
100%.
being so lovely and wonderful, and thanks to the story
Amanda.
and just kind of the way it's gone. And interestingly, our party has not really chosen a deity. We don't have any paladins or clerics or anyone that would inherently come with one.
Yet.
Yet. Yeah, we
Yet.
might have some multi-classing somewhere in there pretty soon.
Feel
but
like Ugo's working on it.
when Ugo, I think it was Ugo who initially asked, like, what does the Candle Queen represent? What is that worship all about? And you said truth.
Mhm.
Did you come up with that on the spot, or did you already know that's what that was going to be?
Well,
You had sent us an email with your pantheon.
yes.
Yeah,
And the Candle Queen was on the Pantheon.
she was.
This is after we'd done 20 episodes. or
It's
so.
about, yeah.
The Candle Queen is 100% a creation of the audience.
Yep.
Yep.
And I love that about it. I took cues from them. They saw Amanda doing things. They coined the name.
Yep.
They decided she was important. They wrote cards that referenced her and had her roll dice in our game. All of that, 100% was the audience making it. So I felt like if we're gonna make a pantheon, and to step back and just say, I think I've said this before, but it bears repeating, that this show and this story that we're telling was originally going to be 10 episodes.
I know.
Right? It was going to be 10 episodes.
It's crazy.
So I didn't make a pantheon because I didn't think we needed it. We didn't have any clerics. We didn't have any paladins.
Sure.
The story was it wasn't gonna matter. So I didn't do it. I had a lot of other things I needed to do. And then at a certain point, we're going and going and going, and Jared goes, I want to go to a temple. And I'm like, Ruh-roh.
You did that in game.
Yes, in game. Yeah, no, he didn't tell me beforehand.
Make a temple.
He did not tell me that
He
before.
literally pretty much
we were
did
playing, and he goes, is there a temple in town? And I go, yes. And he goes,
Sure.
I want to go to that temple. And I went, okay.
And not only does he just want to go and make an offering, he's like, let's have a full confessional.
Yeah.
What's it a temple of? Stuff.
Yeah, gods.
God of
Yeah.
stuff.
So after that episode, the cast, Jared mostly, said, I want to know what your pantheon is. Like, what's the pantheon? And I think you should invent it, because I don't think it should be just from the book.
Right.
Okay.
He said all the other stuff in Ein is you, and so he really encouraged me.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, I'm gonna take a weekend, I'm gonna write out the pantheon, and then I got really excited about what that could bring to the story. And so and I started thinking, like, okay, well, what kind of gods would I want? There's all these gods, and they're,
It just further branches out the mythology of Ein.
Sure does.
Yeah, it just gives everything more
and
roots and more depth.
We've literally created a world here that has worldwide amnesia, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
So what is that? What's religion like when that happens?
Right.
So now that's informing the kinds of gods. And do people know the gods? Well, they have names for the gods that maybe aren't the true names of the gods.
Right.
So there's all this stuff that's happening, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
And I start thinking, okay, well, what would be names for gods that people wouldn't? Well, the Candle Queen sounds kind of like a god name, and that would be fun because she's kind of like a god coming in and doing.
Yeah.
So then it became building all around that, and then working backwards from there, it got really intense, and you'll find out lots more as we go.
Ooh, little
yeah.
teaser.
But she has become a big part of the show, and I think, as you've seen, having Dondo really, that's his deity, and it's an important part of who he is and truth. And so I think originally in that email I sent out, the Candle Queen didn't really have so much the truth thing, and I came to that because of story needs. And so that has sort of evolved a bit from what I originally said.
It makes sense with a god of life and light, who is like illuminating things and shining light.
Shining a light on the truth,
exactly.
if you will.
Shining a light.
No, it absolutely tied well together.
Yeah, revealing the truth of the cards and all. I mean, I was trying to kind of create it thematically a little
cool.
consistent. So
I also thought truth is like something everyone can get behind. It's not really polarizing. So if we wanted everyone to support the Candle Queen, truth is a real good.
Right.
Well, but maybe not, right? Because truth is hard
neutral.
Thing. And truth is neutral, but it is also, we've seen in our own team here that some people don't really think truth is a positive thing or something. Sometimes,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think it's interesting.
It is.
That's true. It's super interesting. So thank you to the community for making Amanda and the Candle Queen a thing, because you're amazing. Also, huge thank you to the community for some of the amazing fan art we've gotten this past week.
Oh, man.
We collected some of it to show on the show tonight. So first up, we have some Grolago fan art.
Oh, yes.
From
Good.
Civ Vicious.
Yeah.
Thank you, Civ Vicious. I love that you can see the armor grafted on the skin. So cool.
Yeah. His head almost looks like a tire tread.
It kind of does.
In a cool way.
In a very cool way. In a very cool way.
Yeah.
We also have some fan art of the Fire Belcher
Yes.
by Jason DeBitt.
Oh man, that is so rad.
With the magma dripping down, like it's like exactly as you described it. Oof. So cool.
Yeah.
That
Imagine
is.
staring at that thing and going,
Just
we gotta
like
kill one of those.
Well, and it was just Uggo and
coming off
Fahima
it.
Yeah.
that saw that, right?
Oh, the lava. Is that that's the lava
I
lizard?
think it was just Meep.
Oh yes.
Oh, maybe.
I killed that thing with an Eldritch Blast. I didn't see it up close, but I was the one who took it down.
Lucky you.
Nope.
And then we also have a really cool collection of black and white Dungeon Run fan art from Liam Gords, or Gordis. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but I love it. Look at that Fahima with Meep.
The little Meep.
So good.
So cute.
Just kind of nonchalantly holding fire in her hand.
And James, look how adorable you are.
He's so charming looking. Look at that.
Very studious.
Yes.
Jeff.
That's me.
I love it.
The flannel.
so much.
This looks like sexy bartender version of Jeff.
A little bit.
holding the cards,
Hello, my name is Lily. She's very hospitable
Yes.
and
Wearing
plays the
a
flute.
sensible skirt.
Uh-huh.
The Civ might be my favorite of
So
the group,
cool.
though. Like, look at that guy.
I love how the hood falls off his cheeks.
I think I might have even missed Mr. Whisper the first time I looked at this drawing. There he is.
Yes, right
at
down
his
there by the
feet.
boot.
Yeah, looking ultra serious.
So cute.
Yeah.
And then there is one more
There he is.
of
There's-
Uggo.
There's the guy.
So good.
I love how cool that hammer looks.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then put it all
look at
together.
So great.
The Dungeon Run. That is
Love it.
so awesome. Thank you so much, Liam.
Blown away.
It's so cool. Thank you guys all so much for sharing these throughout the week. Make sure that you continue to share your creativity, whether that's through fan fiction, drawings, paintings, whatever it is that you make, please share it on either the dungeonrun.fandom.com on the wiki, or on the Discord, or on social media using hashtag the Dungeon Run, and just any way that we can find it so that we can celebrate you and share you on the Dungeon Rundown, because that is the show all about you and all of us connecting in one big happy family. So please do that. Speaking of you guys being a part of this show, we have a t-shirt winner for tonight. And that person who gave us the comment, question, or thought that our powers that be have chosen as the winner is Thunder Muffin. Congratulations, Thunder Muffin. Who said, Meep, a hot tamale candy. Yay! So make sure you check your inbox for instructions on how to get a piece of Dungeon Run swag home to you, so that you can wear it on your body and take a picture and post it hashtag the Dungeon Run, and then we can all see it.
Aren't they now selling hot tamale peeps?
Oh, maybe. Are they?
They're making like different flavors of peeps now, which have never been my favorite candy.
Somebody went, how can we make peeps more disgusting?
I'm just not a peep guy myself.
Peeps are real fun when you're camping to like put on a stick and roast over the fire.
They get deformed and
Yeah, they like melt all weird and creepy.
Melted birds.
Sorry, I'm a weird
it's
kid,
fine.
but it's very, very, very fun.
You're in a safe place.
But yeah, we could make that. We could take a hot tamale peep
I think there are hot tamale peeps.
and make it a hot tamale meat.
There you go. that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
your own
intelligent.
edible.
There's
name.
only one letter they need to change.
That's right.
It's true.
Pretend you're a fire belcher and get a hot tamale
Yeah.
today.
So now I want to try something completely new and different on the
Okay.
show that's going to be really fun. So,
Guinea pigs.
audience, listen up. You guys are guinea pigs too. I want to do like a Q&A lightning round. So everybody put some questions.
Ah!
Everybody put some questions in the chat. Really, try to think of questions. They can be Dungeon Run related or D&D related or not at all. They can be completely random life questions. But Jeff and Morgan, your job is to try to answer the questions as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So to start us off, I'm going to say Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Melm 2002 says favorite spell.
Oh, sending.
Favorite spell. That sending is good.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
Scry. Scrying.
Scrying is good. Marshapotamus says, have you ever done peep jousting?
No.
I don't know what that is.
All right, with some jousting with peeps. Let's see, Jorl Jailbreak, Spider Ryan says.
Yes.
I can't wait to see us go back to Turles.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, let's get this forge thing done. Let's get back to Turles.
Death125, what is one of the other gods in the Pantheon?
The custodian,
custodian.
was Stranger's Fate guy,
The
right?
Wayfarer.
Okay.
is,
The god that I
Wayfarer.
was. No, I shouldn't have said that.
Brandon Nerd, Paladin or Cleric?
Cleric.
Ah! Captain Crunch, favorite food?
Shrimp.
Sushi.
Sushi,
and
yeah.
pizza and
I changed my
ramen.
answer.
Shrimp and popcorn, but not popcorn
I
shrimp.
really like ramen.
Just Jules, floppy bacon or crispy bacon?
Floppy.
Kind of floppy, yeah.
El Gorda says, Morgan, which NPC would you love to play as?
Make Nance a wizard. I don't know.
That's cool.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
Fail Waffle says, Jeff, favorite animal?
Favorite animal? A lion.
A lion.
A lion. Captain Crunch, is life pain?
Yes.
It's not only pain, but yes.
Only after you have kids.
I love my kids.
Oh, God. It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
It changes life.
Jeff just got back from a long
Life.
vacation with his kids.
Dream Blaze, favorite candy?
I like hot tamales.
I'm going to
actually.
say Good and Plenty.
What?
Whoa! Very unpopular.
Very unpopular,
choice.
but I love it.
They're
Love it.
they're
You do you.
Trust and chew.
Because of Easter's coming up, the Starburst jelly beans, keep them away from me.
Mm.
I will eat bags.
Oh, you know, actually, my actual favorite candy is dark chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups.
Those are good.
Dark chocolate.
Oh, they're
fan.
very, very.
I also
Yeah.
like peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, so good. Son of Joxer says favorite version of D&D.
5. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you guys just saying that? 'cause
No, I know.
I honestly think it's the best version. It's the
Okay.
most accessible, open.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't think we're gonna see a 6th edition for a long.
Yeah,
time.
a long time.
I think that's probably true. Gorbin played GIF or GIF?
GIF.
It's GIF. Graphic information file. I know the guy who invented
The
it
guy
says
who
GIF.
says GIF.
He doesn't get to say.
What is it? Peanut butter? Get out of here.
Sean Patrick says Blowhard or Whitebeard?
A white bear.
I hate them both. Blowhard, I guess.
Friendly Undead Mage says thoughts on TPKs.
Try to avoid them.
Try to avoid them. That's bad. It's like hitting a reset button. I don't know.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with this one. Bryba says favorite Force of Good card.
Wow.
The caps lock is on.
Oh yeah,
my
that's
sending
great.
to the world.
Mine,
yeah.
mine will be the paper ring that
Yep.
Fahima used to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so
Snare to
good.
spare.
Snare to spare. Yeah.
That was so good. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for playing our lightning round. First
Always gonna
ever.
Make me nervous.
First
Great.
ever
That
lightning
was
round.
good lightning round.
Yeah. Well
Thank
done.
you,
Well
thank
done.
you,
Well
guys.
done.
You.
Well done.
Good question.
Well played, gentlemen. Well played, chat. Thank you all so much. Jeff and Morgan, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
It was a
This has
delight.
been
Always a pleasure.
so much fun. Do either of you have anything coming up that you want to promote or shout out or tell everybody
We're
about?
doing the show tomorrow night.
What? We are?
Wait, what show?
We should tell people about it.
Yes.
What's it called?
I think it's called the Dungeon Run.
Do you know what time it is?
6 o'clock Pacific? Why am I talking
Coughing
like
through all of
You
it.
know what? I heard it's even a spin-off of this very show.
It is.
What?
If you liked this show,
Yeah,
you're gonna love
tomorrow night show. Okay, I'll say. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Imagine this show, but 4 times as long.
Yes.
I'm not gonna get in trouble.
With a lot more voices.
I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm on an episode of SWAT on CBS at the end of
Ooh.
the end of this
Nice.
month. I think it's the 25th.
No.
Yep.
That's very exciting. And if
Yeah.
people want to follow along with what's going on with that movie you're producing, is there a place they can
I
follow
mean,
that?
Literally, we just wrapped Sunday morning, so it's, post-production takes a while. So
Okay.
hopefully it'll be a few months but I think it might be announced soon. We'll see.
So just follow your social media.
Yeah, follow my social media.
You'll post about it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for being on the show.
And I hope everyone voted today.
Yes, if
Well,
it's
That's a
your
little
case,
late to
vote.
recommend voting.
I know.
But yeah.
If your state hasn't voted yet, then
Yes.
go vote. in the
We'll
future.
vote
And
soon.
on the general,
Yes.
voting is cool.
Voting's
That's what we're
cool,
saying.
folks.
Voting's really cool.
I didn't put my vote. I didn't put my stick. I changed shirts. So
I changed shirts as
reapply my
well.
vote.
I
I had my-
Instagram storied my sticker.
Nice.
this
Yes.
morning.
Which I think is required at this
I think it is, absolutely. And there's so many cool voting tags. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. You guys have been awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the gentleman said, there's a spin-off of this show tomorrow night called The Dungeon Run. It's on at 6 p.m. Pacific time every
hear it's
Wednesday. I hear it's okay, yeah. Caffeine.tv/The Dungeon Run. Make sure that you tune in. And then next Tuesday, come right back here to Caffeine.tv/The Dungeon Run for The Dungeon Rundown at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you all so very much for watching. You have been awesome, and we will see you next week.
Whee!
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.